And welcome, folks, to our live discussion, the Itty Bitty Nerdy Committee. I'm Beastie Boy.
I'm Table.
I'm Red.
It is I, Shino Brando.
And we'll be discussing recent news from across the multiverse, live from video games, anime, comics, and more. And stick around after the news to hear us discuss a newly released comic of the week.
Except for this week, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
We cheated a little. We make the rules. That's how it works. And since I just started speaking, I'll keep going. So the first little bit of news I've got for us today is kind of vague, but I really, really want to talk about it anyway because I'm super excited. So yesterday, Build-A-Bear announced that they will be doing a collaboration with Animal Crossing New Horizons to release a collection of bears specifically based around the characters from this video game.
I'm
Now,
so happy about it.
It's not clear how many bears yet based on previous workings. It's probably going to be 2 or 3. I don't know who you guys are hoping for, but could you imagine just a little Tom Nook hanging out on your couch? Reminding you of your debts?
I imagine Tom Nook, I imagine Isabel, and I imagine KK for sure.
KK, yeah, I was about to say KK Slater and Tom Nook are for sure.
Oh, for sure. If someone gets a picture of a Build-A-Bear Isabel wearing a Doom Guy helmet, I think my life would be complete.
My gosh.
For those unfamiliar, same release date. There was a lot of fun fan art around the concept. I know my roommates and I have taken trips to Build-A-Bear in the past for stupid reasons, and I now know we will have yet another dumb reason to go to Build-A-Bear. I mean, look at their stupid faces. There are over 150 unique villagers, right? So it's not like you're going to get your favorite villager no matter who it is, not even that twink cat. We all know the twink cat. Fun fact, my roommate has Raymond, and they didn't even ask for him. He just turned up like an asshole.
Damn. I hope Molly's there. Molly's a duck. A cute, yellow, squishy duck. It's my favorite.
Cute.
It's my favorite creature in all Animal
It
Crossing.
may have to release Julian the Unicorn, because Julian the Unicorn is pretty awesome.
That's true.
There's
a robot bird that I would love to see.
Yeah, there's a unicorn.
News to me.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I got them on my island. I'll show you next time.
If you think you know all of the Animal Crossing guys, you don't. There are too many to count.
There's a lot, yeah.
But that takes me on to my second piece of news. Now, we all know that, June is a special month.
'Tis special, yes.
It's when the gays come out of hiding. And as a result, DC's going to be releasing a number of books, but I want to talk about them releasing a new miniseries, Crush and Lobo. So, for those of you who aren't aware, Crush had a girlfriend in Teen Titans. She did end up breaking up with her, which was a damn fucking shame, but she really is just the epitome of punk rock TM. And I think that's fun. She has all of her dad's weird powers and also a chain thing for undisclosed reasons. she's just messing around. As she was part of the Teen Titans for a while, but that team collapsed like a neutron star on account of Damian Wayne having the social skills of a parabola. Sorry, my bias shows. Anyway, it's going to feature her and her dad, Lobo. Now, if you're not familiar, Lobo is something of a motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, that's putting it lightly, yeah.
He really committed genocide for fun and profit. Mostly fun. And he likes to keep doing it.
And also of his own people, allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making him, at one point, the only one of his kind. It was kind of a whole thing. He is known for just being a dick face. See top right where he is fighting Superman? That's just because he can, and he's an ass. Like, there's no real reason. Ever. Well, no, that's not true. He gets paid for stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Just because he's an asshole. Just because he likes fucking with people.
Yes. You will see on this slide, however, there is one character who is neither Crush nor Lobo. It is Slobo, who is the reason Crush exists as a character. He's like a sort of not really clone thing that was on the Young Justice lineup for a while. Not the cartoon, because the cartoon has a completely different lineup, and I will never forgive it for that. But I will. Anyway, he's a fun character, in my opinion. He's mostly, in fact, also an ass like his dad, but every now and then he gets struck by the power of friendship and actually helps people out.
A question: have you seen the latest season of Young Justice?
No, but I've heard it's really, really good.
Yeah. I hate to break it to you, but he might just pop up in there.
He fucking what? Slobo, my bro.
No. Lobo shows up, not Slobo.
Oh.
No. Still, if I don't know about you, but if you missed post credits, he literally shows up.
Slobo, my guy.
At that ending?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You know what? I didn't finish it. That's probably my bad.
Oh, he's on his way.
Like, Slobo's a dick. And the world might be better off without him in it. I will not argue that point. But he laid the groundwork for us to have a cool punk rock lesbian. And for this alone, I think he deserves some props. Also, look at that translucent mesh shirt. Like, what the fuck you got going there, bro?
That is some early aughts level of punk rock, and I hate it and love it at the same time.
Well, it's safe to say that Lobo has hard-ass offspring.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
My question to you, and, if you know the answer, oh well. Do we know who Crush's mom is?
Yes and no.
Fantastic.
She joined the Teen Titans to hunt down the murderers of her parents. Obviously, Lobo is not dead. He will never be dead, in fact. That's one of the caveats of him existing. So she was adopted, and those parents died, so we know who she calls mom. But I don't think we know who her mother was. Yet. Maybe that'll come up in the Crush and Lobo series.
Certainly possible, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Because then you've got to deal with that mom had to make some decisions, and I don't know if a Lobo and Crush book is the time to deal with that. I don't know if that's the right place for that.
Let's all be real. It's obvious that, like, we know Lobo fucks. That's not news to anyone.
Yeah, and also Lobo's not a very serious book. So, I mean, like, for all we know, he could pop a pimple and it just crushes born. For all we know,
it's true.
Certainly possible.
Don't want to think about that though. So,
right,
Red, you had something to talk about directly related to what I just finished talking about. Explain.
So I've got some gay shit, right?
Fuck
yes, oh my god.
And this is, as you had said, June is Pride Month. And so DC is putting out DC Pride #1, which will feature all sorts of any character that has in the past been LGBTQIA+. That includes our newest Speedster from Earth 22, Harley and Poison Ivy.
Are they canon now? Is that official now?
Yeah,
Are
they're
we really
canon.
doing it?
They're
That's
super canon.
100% official. Not only have they kissed on screen in the Harley Quinn show,
Mhm.
but they have slowly been creeping their way towards actual official canon. And as far as DC's concerned, they're girlfriends and sometimes wives.
Like,
Yes.
finally, Jesus Christ, good. Jesus,
And
man.
if you really want to get nitpicky about it, in the Valentine's Day one that came out
Love
about
is
a
a
month ago,
battleground.
that
Yeah.
one, they grow old together and then are reborn as plants together and live forever.
Right on. I dig it.
So yes, we've got Batwoman Kate Kane, we've got Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, we've got Midnighter and Apollo, those awesome gay men. We've got the Flash of Earth 11, the Jess Chambers. We've got the most recent public edition, Alan Scott Green Lantern, the original Green Lantern, for those keeping track. He was a superhero that, this is part of my JSA Infinite fandom.
Scared.
Where he was the first Green Lantern before any Hal Jordan or John Stewart or anybody like that. His powers are not derived from like the Green Lantern Corps or anything like that. They are just from his lantern, and it's just charged by, I believe, just pure will.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The most notable person on the middle cover there is that blue person. Now, initially I thought it was Bluebird, which is a Batman side character, as the name suggests.
Yeah, but she doesn't have light powers.
Correct. That is a trans hero named Dreamer, who first showed up in Supergirl, the series on the CW.
Oh, yeah.
And so, this will be Dreamer's first appearance in comic books.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you just said that, because I felt like an idiot. I was like, who is that, and why don't I recognize her?
And so across DC's publishing line for throughout the month of June, we'll be getting Batman. We'll be getting Pride variants of a whole bunch of comics. So the one on our right is the cover for Nightwing, and then the Harley Quinn one is to the left there. We're also getting
Sorry.
Yep, go ahead.
If we finally get canon by Nightwing, I will lose it.
Not out of the question at this point in time.
Please.
So we're going to get one for Batman. We're going to get one for Superman. We're going to get one for Teen Titans Academy. We're going to get one for Wonder Girl and Wonder Woman. And the Lobo and Crush series is getting like 3.
Good.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Very mini series.
Nice.
So, more gay shit. I love it. Who knows? We might even put out some gay shit then. Wait and see.
Putting out gay shit? Shit.
My other piece of news this week has to do with those heroes in a half shell. Turtle
What
power.
in the goddamn?
Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines.
So, that exact theme song that Sheena was expertly singing in perfect time, I promise.
Better not be too perfect or we'll get kicked off the site.
Facts. Hard facts. The Turtles, the original NES game, is basically getting a revised, revisit, remaster. And is coming to all platforms later this year, TM. It will feature original gameplay, just like the original one, and is titled Shredder's Revenge. And we'll let you pick as any of the 4 turtles, and will feature the iconic chiptune version of the classic animated series tune.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
Raphael's cool but rude. Michelangelo is a party, bruh. TM, can't do it.
Can't do it. Now, I would love to play the trailer. However, that theme song that Shino just keeps nailing left, right, note for note, but not according to Twitch because we're still live.
Thank you.
The publisher of this game put out the trailer, and that trailer has the song that we can't air, or else we're going to get taken down off this purple channel. And I like this purple channel. So,
This purple channel is fun.
Yeah.
So, no trailer.
Imagine the trailer here.
Yeah, imagine the trailer,
Holy
sing
promise.
the song to yourself.
There's a bunch of turtles fighting, and all of a sudden Shredder comes out of nowhere, and he's like, "Tonight I dine on turtle soup."
I
Exactly.
promise you, this, listen. So, this is also from the same team that did the revitalization of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Mm.
And the initial vocals are done by Mike Patton, frontman for bands like Faith No More and Mr. Bungle.
Okay, I've heard of
That's
Faith.
the name.
This game doesn't have an official release date, but let me tell you, the moment it does, pre-order on the Switch. The Switch seems like it was the perfect console designed for this game.
Honestly,
Some say, yeah. Some say it would be like that, right? Like, I don't know. It's one of the the SNES, one of their best-selling games of all time was Turtles 4.
Absolutely. And the fact that you can take this game, which they did a Game Boy version of this game, it's infinitely inferior, but that's beside the point.
Mhm.
In that same
Game Boy's-
aspect, you can take Teenage Mutant, anyway, the rest of that song,
Yeah.
on the go. Wherever you so please.
This is true.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Reptiles. TM can't do it.
Oh,
Fun
man.
fact, in Europe, the name was changed, and I can't remember it, or I would make a joke out of it. But
But
In
there's a
some
joke.
parts, they're called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles
that's
because
it,
Yes.
ninja,
because they couldn't say
ninja's a
ninja.
bad word. Yeah.
Oh.
Imagine
Racism
that,
in my turtle game?
Man.
right?
Pink Shell Boys, here we go.
Ew.
Game coming soon, TM. And that's
Right
my
on.
news for the week.
Oh,
Nice.
I guess it's my turn then. We're slapping these out of the park, huh? Well, okay, my turn. I'll try not to be too quick either, but
What do you
hey,
got? What do you got?
every week I always ask you guys a question. How many of you guys care for Sesame Street?
I sure watched it as a child.
I sure
Yeah.
enjoy the making of it, the behind the scenes of it.
Them motherfuckers getting a movie for some reason, and nobody
Huh?
knows why.
What? Why?
Yeah. So
And why
these
is
guys
Chance
will
the
have a movie.
Rapper involved?
I mean,
So this is supposed to be the year the movie's supposed to come out, but they got pushed to 2022 because pancakes. Yeah.
Panago.
Yeah.
There you go. Right.
Panorama. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's still being done. There's no plot synopsis, but and the full cast hasn't been revealed. But the three names attached to it so far are Anne Hathaway, Bo Burnham, and Chance the Rapper. And I don't know what this movie's about, but so far, okay.
So
Okay.
the last Sesame Street movie that I watched was probably 7. It's like Elmo Goes to Grouchland or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, because I didn't even know there was
Elmo
that kind of
jumps into the trash Grouch man's into his garbage can and ends up in a different alternate Earth or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very
it's
specific.
no, I mean down in Oscar's garbage can there literally is a whole like apartment world thing going on over there.
My God.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's got like a pocket dimension thing going on for some reason.
There's a
It's a
reason Oscar
TARDIS.
doesn't come out of there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
My dude's having Muppet orgies left, right, and center.
Not Muppets. Different.
Different. My God.
Branding is distinct.
No, they're Muppets.
Don't make me fight you.
They're all Muppets.
Imagine Kermit throwing down with Big Bird.
No, bro. No.
Listen, okay? So they're Muppets, right? And we're going to take 3 seconds and I'm going to tell you why the fuck they're
Mhm.
Muppets, okay? So,
Okay.
They're
A,
all Muppets,
Jim
yeah.
Henson invented them. That just instantly makes them Muppets. B,
All
they're
Muppets.
controlled by humans in a puppet way and operate not unlike puppets, but they're done by the Jim Henson Foundation, so they're still Muppets.
it.
3.
Simplify it for you. Yeah, to simplify it, really, their race would be Muppets. It just happens that they live. This show is called Sesame Street, and we have the Muppet Show, featuring a
I
show about
see.
Muppets.
And also, they're Muppets because they got to come to Kermit and Miss Piggy's real wedding.
That's true. You have
Fools.
me there.
You and they talk about the MCU being the most ambitious crossover, but yet there was a Christmas
So-
special that featured the Sesame Street Gang, the Muppet Show,
Mhm.
and Fraggle Rock in one house. Stop
Oh my
me now.
That is a lot.
They all came to Miss Piggy's wedding. Like, anyway.
Christmas special.
I
They were
understand.
all in one room together
I
for the
also
first
can't do the
time
words
in
Christmas special.
ever. It never happened again.
Damn.
But in other news,
Some comic book shit.
well, sort of, kind of. So I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Jupiter's Legacy, but Netflix has picked it up as a series. It's a comic written by often collaborators Mark Miller and Frank Quitely. It's about the world's first set of superheroes in the 1930s, and their children in the present day dealing with the struggle of living up to the elder guard, as they're called, their legacy. Kind of a silent release here. It's going to be coming out May 7th, 2021, so just in a few months. It stars Josh Duhamel and Ben Daniels and Leslie Bibb, among a whole large cast there. Some new faces, some young ones. Netflix says this is going to be, well, aside Umbrella Academy, this is their answer to Amazon's The Boys.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I'm familiar with those two artists because they did All-Star Superman, which we
Yeah.
talked about in our Dwayne McDuffie episode.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And so I know that pairing can be good. Did anybody read Jupiter's Legacy?
I have not.
No.
In fact, this is the first time of ever hearing it, honestly.
So, if memory serves me right, there is also a DC comic that deals with the same sort of idea. I just can't pull the name of it.
Okay.
Table, any ideas? Help.
It's a story focusing on legacy.
More
There's a lot it
specifically,
could be.
more specifically, the heroes we know and like the Superman, Wonder Woman's of the age, are older, and their children are running amok and doing dumb shit.
I swear this is not. Is that not
What
Kingdom Come?
Yeah, what comes up is Kingdom Come, which talks about that very briefly and then gets into, oh Jesus, other shit very quickly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Earth X?
That's Marvel's side, yeah, but that's not exactly the same thing. That's more like everybody got fucked up from the Terrigen Mists.
We love Terrigen Mist. No, we don't.
No, we don't. Not in the MCU, anyway.
No.
But, so, more of my point is, this is not the first time Mark Millar has teamed up with Netflix. This is merely the start of what I believe, feel free to stop me if this is part of your news. This
Go
is
ahead,
part
man.
of the Millarverse that Netflix is starting.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So, and imagine any book that Mark Millar happens to own the rights to, or, majority owns the rights to. Yeah, Netflix is going to get their itty-bitty thingies all up in it.
Anything that's comic book content right now that doesn't have anything tied to it, they're taking it.
Yeah. In fact, this is the same place that the Sandman is going to go. And those keen eye people that would go, now, Sandman's DC, or Warner Brothers, if that. Why is it not on the DC stuff?
Right.
Because DC didn't have any stuff when Neil Gaiman was pitching it around to people. And then they were already doing production on it, and they couldn't so much as transfer it without buying them all out, and that was expensive.
Expensive.
That's okay. Sandman should be separate anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's trying to throw it in with regular DC stuff would probably just ruin both. Not that DC needs help ruining their Warner Brothers movies right now.
Haha.
Yeah, I got that right.
I'd say they're doing their best, but we both know they're not.
They are not.
No,
However,
they're not.
I believe there are some Warner Brothers movies coming out very, very soon, aren't there, Shino?
Yeah, in a little bit. I don't have that news set up though. But yeah, in a few weeks you're gonna get Snyder Cut on the 18th, and I believe you're gonna get Godzilla versus Kong on the 31st. That got pushed by a week because Snyderverse. So yeah, two big movies at the end of the month. So keep your eyes open for that.
It's like the Snyder Cut needs room to breathe and actually exist for a hot second before getting eaten by a fucking kaiju.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know how the 2 week span is gonna work for that movie, man.
Poorly.
And I think that's why that's sorry, that 1 week span. I guess that's why they did it. To kind of get everybody to like watch it now and be like, oh well, okay, cool. Godzilla versus Kong is next. Cool. We're good.
And here's the next movie. Just whoops.
Yeah.
And here's the thing I find weird, right? So you can you can get Crave, buy it for a month, watch the Snyder Cut, and then Kong, and then decide it's not for you anymore, and then hit eject.
Yeah, you sure could.
That's ridiculous. Those should be like the highest highs of highs movies, and you get to watch them a week apart and move the fuck on.
You should have at least put them like 2 months apart.
Yeah, you know, like, yeah, exactly. A break in between. But I mean, not like they have anything
the day
to lose,
after
right?
the billing period.
They have other
Not
things to push out,
exactly.
like Dune in October, so they're just waiting to cash in on everything.
Or Mortal Kombat,
that's
whenever that decides to come out.
April 6th.
And most people pop in. Well, I don't know. Most people I know pop in for at least a month when they drop a new season of Letterkenny.
There it is.
I'm still subscribed to that fucking service.
Damn,
Letterkenny, some good stuff though.
it's some good shit.
Right, that's April 9th. Sorry, April 9th.
For Mortal Kombat, right?
MK, yeah.
Yeah.
In the early part of April.
Fantastic.
It's already got approved for an R rating, or officially now, I guess it's been R rated. So
yay! So much good stuff about that movie, except Cole, whoever that is.
Steve Harvey's weird mustache appears.
Yeah. But
and then
yeah,
Sub-Zero can do blood like Scarlet, but okay. Sure.
If it's got water content in it, I guess he controls it.
I guess. But that's another story for another time.
I guess so. It's the Magneto clause, right? You have iron in your blood.
You have water in your blood. Yeah, sure thing.
You've got blood in your blood.
Oh, you sound like Adam X now.
Oh fuck that.
Listen, our book this week is better than that book. Okay.
Thank you. And since we're talking Marvel so far, I'll just bring up some MCU news real quick.
Oh shit.
But Kevin Feige recently revealed that both She-Hulk, which is described as a legal comedy, starring Tatiana Maslany as the titular character, and Moon Knight, starring Oscar Isaac as Mark Spector, Moon Knight, the hero, both begin filming in April. Meanwhile, Miss Marvel is near post-production. The writing team behind She-Hulk will be Jessica Gao, who wrote the Pickle Rick episode of Rick and Morty, along with Kat Cairo. Yes, along with Kat Cairo, who wrote for Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Anu Velia, who are both on board to direct and executive produce for the show. Mark Ruffalo will reprise his role as Bruce Banner, and Tim Roth will be back as Abomination for some reason.
For fun.
For funsies.
Does that mean they're gonna rope in the fact that that means that Hulk movie is going to be actually canon instead of people ignoring it.
But it is canon.
Exactly.
It's always been canon.
Yeah, it's been canon.
You know it.
mean.
It's been canon. It's actually the first movie that the word super soldier serum gets said, and I cannot believe everybody forgets it.
It's very canon. The only thing that's not canon is Ed Norton.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, no, wait. Hang on. There's one more thing about that movie that's not canon. At the very end in the post-credit scene, you can see the villain of that, the smart guy anyway, get the radiation goo, whatever, dripping into his brain.
Yeah.
Gross.
And the villain that would make, it does not show it.
Oh, yeah.
I promise you
The
will
leader,
not show
yes, I know. Yeah, the leader's not coming anytime soon. Maybe, anyways.
I need you to know how heavy my breathing is about Moon Knight. I'm so excited for that fucking show.
Moon Knight, it's being written by Jeremy Slater, who wrote for The Umbrella Academy. With episodes directed by Mohammed Diab and team collab of Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. Oscar Isaac will be joined by Ethan Hawke, who's going to be the villain in the show. So, yeah, man, some things are going
Mephisto!
down as of April.
I'm so excited. I love Mark Spector so much. Calls Dracula a nerd and demands his money back. Like, fuck.
Well, this one promises to be on the dark and broody side. So we're as everything in Marvel is usually more colorful and lighthearted. Moon Knight will not be that.
He's good at that. He's good at being upset about things.
So hyped for that.
If to give context of the feel of the show, it's what Netflix is like Daredevil should have been going further, right? In that aspect of like the gritty, dramatic. It's in that vein, but without restriction. Give it that way.
I mean, with the PG-13 rating, like it's not going to be R.
Of course, yeah, it's still gonna be R rated, but
it's you're gonna drop an F-bomb. You're gonna
push your luck a little.
Yeah, as close as you can to that
pushing,
line without trying.
Yeah, we're pushing boundaries here. Nothing too deep.
Shino, I believe you are now the proud borrower of our Moon Knight book.
Yeah, I am. You know what? A perfect world, I'd have more time to read. Yeah. But the moment I get some free time, like a vacation streak, that's what I'll be doing. So
maybe we'll do something with Moon Knight as that show gets closer.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, as it gets closer, you know what? I'll book in some time for that book. Don't worry. I'll make it happen.
10-4, good
I'm gonna
buddy.
vibrate to another fucking Earth like the Flash. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, and that's all it for me this week.
10-4, good buddy. I believe that leaves one person left,
which is me, bringing in some video game news first. Haha. So, if you know of this game from the Wii days, literally the Wii console, not like the Wii, but nonetheless.
Yeah, those days where France invaded Canada.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Back in the days of Arcadia. Like, are you sure?
Fucking 1812. All right.
In 1814, took a little trip.
Wee.
The French haven't won a war since they tried to decapitate their fucking king. Like,
oh, that's mean. They were involved, technically speaking, in the World Wars, and they didn't totally lose.
They're still losers.
They lost.
Oh my god!
But like,
did we even have France? If you're listening, we're sorry.
Yeah, all of France, the entirety of France.
Excuse.
You and every cigarette you've ever smoked, you're all excused.
My god!
These guys don't even have proper. They don't even have a proper cuss word.
They don't.
Forget. Let's go.
Anyway, nonetheless. Nonetheless, if you've never played this game, No More Heroes, you can now play it. Coming soon to you on the Switch. The first and second game are getting remasters, and they're getting collector's edition, which looks so fucking beautiful and just so good.
Are you purchasing the Switch now? Has Nintendo finally given you a reason to do this now?
4 years later.
Can I say my part? Damn.
You can, but you got to beat the French.
Nonetheless, I will be planning to get a Switch. Nonetheless, that was in the works. Hopefully sometime before school. If not, then we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, this is basically a good setup before the No More Heroes 3, which will be coming out in August in August like 19th or something like that. But at some point, you can play that game then. But you can also get all these nice collector editions of No More Heroes 1 and then No More Heroes 2. That's for Struggle. If you've never played the game, basically it's like Afro Samurai, but with like a whole roster of different people that you meet in both different games. So nonetheless, you play as this hero or this basically weeaboo named Travis Touchdown, who basically somehow gets entered into a, like, I guess, #1 sword battle. And he somehow is basically thrown into the whole like roster of like the battle royale, and one by one he faces these different people and meets very interesting characters. Some who join him, some who leave a mark on him and like teach him something for later on. Otherwise, he just goes on and meets these very interesting characters, and he's doing it again for the third time, but it's the world against aliens. So
Fuck
you can
yeah.
it'll be very interesting
My question to
replay
you
this. Mm-hmm.
is, of all 3 sets that are on screen right now,
Mm-hmm.
which one are you buying?
Well, here's the thing. You see that top left corner one, right?
With the replica
It says-
flag, yeah.
You're right.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that already is a bundle thing that has 1 and 2, right? My only problem is that I was searching up some research on the limited run games website. Some people are a bit iffy with like purchasing from them or pre-ordering from them. So that's the only issue. But
Shino and I have things coming from limited run.
People have said some other things, but I don't know. I obviously never ordered from them, so I don't know.
I've got the Scott Pilgrim physical release of the game and the vinyl soundtrack, and Shino's got the pin set from Scott Pilgrim.
And it went smoothly?
Oh yeah, 100%.
No.
So then now, Beastie, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna make the
What? Repeat that. That was a bit quiet.
Are you gonna make the pre-order?
My guy, am I a person of color? If that answers your question, then you already know what's gonna happen.
Does Nightwing have cake?
I was gonna say something stupid and you really just fuck.
No, say it.
I was gonna say, it's time to take a jump, boy.
But yes, I am very interested in getting this. The pre-order should be happening, I believe, starting from tomorrow around 10 a.m. Eastern time. But it should be available up until April, I believe, 9th or 8th, they said. So there is quite a bit of time for, if you were to make pre-orders. It will obviously take its time to get made or even shipped out. But nonetheless, you have time to get these orders. And I believe the actual team that manufactures these pre-orders or gets these things together is a bit of like a average sized team. So depending on how long it takes, we'll see. But I will be looking to pre-ordering this. So, you bet your sweet ass, I am going to buy this game.
Yay!
Yay!
I was getting 3 and I'm planning to get these 2 anyway. So,
Yay!
You're going to get 3 in physical also?
Most likely.
Dope.
I was planning for once they announced 3 was going to be a thing. I was like, fuck yes. And then it just,
Isn't there a side game too in that series?
We don't talk about that. It's okay. We don't talk about it.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No
because
more.
Chino, you played it already too, right?
Oh boy.
You bet your sweet Bippy he did.
Let's not talk about that, man.
10-4. Let's move on to some anime stuff.
Let's do.
Carry on with the nerdum, please.
Yes, let's go to some entertainment news. So, first on the right side, if you are an anime fan, such as our group ourselves, or even as me, we have a new anime coming out that is going to be focusing on the first Black samurai in literal history. So, from the bottom left to right and the top, this is all just a depiction of Yasuke, who was basically an African samurai who served under Oda Nobunaga. I'm gonna butcher that name. I was just trying.
Shoot thing.
Yep. Right. So, the thing, what we've gotten is some details about who's handling the series, but basically it's being produced and directed by, and quoted is, LaShawn Thomas of Cannon Busters on Netflix. It's going to be animated by Mappa, or the animation studio Mappa, who's currently taking care of Attack on Titan, the final 4 season, and Jujutsu Kaisen. If you haven't seen the animes or haven't seen the action scenes, at least from these guys, it is fucking phenomenal of what they can do and what they produce.
Or the digital, I guess, the faux camera, the digital camera, however you want to say it, that moves alongside of these very, very fluid characters in their surroundings and around their opponents. Bonkers. Take me to the feudal.
Yeah. That's one of our key words, man. When it comes to animation, we like fluidity, man. If the animation is
Exactly.
nice and sleek, we watch it. So yeah. All right.
Funny tidbit of that before I continue on with Jujutsu Kaisen, but like, there's a one scene where basically these twin sisters in the current scene, not twin, but like these sisters who are fighting each other during this event. There's a scene where basically the one sister shot her bullet at her sister, and it's obviously a nice crisp like animation, right, going towards to her sister. Somebody apparently had said that that scene alone cost more than the entire third season of Seven Deadly Sins. So the season that had that weird so that if anybody has seen that season with the janky weird Meliodas devil feet at that point, which besides at that point there's another story behind that I could give, but we'll get into that some other point.
Homie with short torso and like mad abs for some reason.
Yeah, someone just didn't overlook that scene basically. Nonetheless, yeah, that's how much money was put in. There's like no actual like figure, but basically it cost that much more to do that scene.
I've got the number right fucking here. You ready?
Go for it.
I believe they call it, at least in Canada, a metric crap ton.
That's a big number.
It's a bigger number. Yes.
Yeah, that's a big number. Yeah.
But yeah, so nonetheless, besides that, the anime's character designs that we've seen Yasuke come by the way of director and animator Takashi Koike, who has helped with Lupin the Third. The woman called Fujiko Mine. I believe that should be the movie or series, Shino. I don't know if you're getting
my head a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you got the reference for that, but if not, then that's okay. And as we see from bottom left corner, Keith Steinfeld will be the voice for the main character Yosuke. So he's been in movies such as Sorry to Bother You, Judas and the Black Messiah, and some other stuff as well, like Atlanta with Childish Gambino, or AKA Donald Glover. So it'll be an interesting thing to see how this goes. Also, Grammy Award nominated artist Flying Lotus is behind the music for the series. So there's a lot going on in this series.
Flying Lotus. For a hot minute, he took care of the music segments and segues for all of Cartoon Network.
Really?
Yeah, and including Adult Swim. Yeah.
Oh damn! They know what they're doing over there.
It's they hired professionals that know what the fuck they're doing.
In fact, I think the last time Cartoon Network had like Dragon Ball Z on it, he had cut like a wicked segment for like promo for it. And like it's one of those rare things that people only tuned in just to hear the segment before the show started and just tune out.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's one of those things you can't find now. Even I think you can't even find it online. It's like it's just gone.
By the way, just on the topic of people hiring professionals, this is super tangenty, so I'm going to talk it quick. If you haven't heard about the X-Arm anime that's upcoming, it's dropped a trailer and it was ugly as fuck because fun fact, this director who has worked on live action projects before brought in his live action team rather than any animators, and they still tried to make an anime, and it's going up on Crunchyroll at some point, and we're all gonna have to pretend it doesn't suck.
Crunchyroll still at oh my god. I'm okay, I'm gonna have to talk to you about this later. God,
man.
Jesus. But yeah, so with this anime, it'll be I believe a short 6 episodes. I believe. I'm not sure by length of time, but from what I was told, or from what I saw, it was going to be just 6 episodes for now, coming later in April 29th. So,
okay,
that's something to look forward to. And quickly before we go on to our other stuff, we have another casting, random one, but a very interesting choice for another character on Borderlands movie. So they've added the Creed 2 star, Florian Montanou, or Montanao. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I gotta see it.
Montanao, thank you. Yeah, Munteanu.
Yeah, okay, that's all right.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, he's been casted as the character on to the left beside him, which is Krieg, a character that shows up in Borderlands 2, aka he's, I think, how do you explain him? He's like I guess you could say like he's like a berserk type character, like where he'll be like, in a sense, he's like an insane, psychotic, wild flying guy, not flying, but like throwing weapons around kind of character and all that stuff.
Oh, he's crazy.
Yeah, legitimately. Like his character nuts. Is just basically the characters or the minions in the game he's just basically in a slightly advanced version, but psychotic version of all those characters into one actual personality. But the character himself has two personalities. So it has like a, I guess you could say, a stable side, and then, like I mentioned before, his berserk side, which he kind of uses as like his special ability and all that stuff. Yeah, and you get to kind of go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say you get to get to explore that a little bit more in Borderlands 3 with his character in one of the DLCs. But yeah, it's an interesting choice to see. I don't know.
Hopefully you can do it well.
Yeah, I have nothing negative nor slightly positive, but I'm very intrigued to see what he does, because whatever else they've been casting has been very questionable.
This looks like the only accurate casting they've done so far.
Yeah. What are the other casts? Jack Black.
Kevin Hart.
For the robot though, for Claptrap, which I'm slightly okay with, so I don't care about that. It's more just like everyone else for like what we mentioned, Kevin Hart, for someone who's taller than he is, which I don't know what they're doing.
Everybody on Earth is taller than he is. He has no choice but to play a shorter character over them.
I just don't know what they're doing.
Man's a walking small armrest, my guy. Like,
I know he is,
man,
but the character he plays isn't.
Kevin Hart for Krillin. Let's go.
Stop. You know what? I want that. Anyways.
No. Hey.
But yeah.
As a quick interject,
go ahead.
Tabletop Time, our very own table, has decided to call us a hydrate break.
I can do that. I shall mute so it doesn't sound gross on mic.
Water.
So with that in mind, we're gonna run ourselves a little bit of an ad here. Please join us after the ad for the wrap up of this segment and the beginning of our heavily wanted comic segment. Starting now.
Hydrate before you dihydrate, boys.
I mean, like, I'm drinking like booze, so you know.
Oh, that's not super hydrating.
Savage.
Baby.
Ooh, I'm getting a Falcon Winter Soldier commercial.
Ooh, fun. My cat just abandoned me.
Oh, I want to ask you you guys a question about that show once we're not live anymore.
I mean, I'm excited, theoretically speaking, for a lot of reasons. I can't believe he really does just buy normal jackets and rip a sleeve off. Lucky.
Damn.
Right? What a goof.
You could just wear a normal jacket.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right. So that is all my news. We have some very interesting, wacky, kind of interesting news, but it's been interesting so far. So
right.
So, table, you know what that means?
Is comics time.
It is comics time. So this week we are doing a book that we have been very slowly talking about since August of last year, where I introduced everybody to the Kickstarter done by very recent Batman writer Scott Snyder and artist Tony S. Daniel. This book is got put out by Image because it got so popular, and this book is Noctera.
Oh yeah.
ooh.
Table, why don't you start off with some context?
For those of you who aren't aware, the premise of Noctera is dark truck driver. That's what was basically pitched to a lot of people. The entire world is now dark. Our protagonist is driving a truck from location to location because there are monsters in the dark. This book takes that really basic premise and it's intriguing as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew the art style was going to be fantastic because I'm not blind, but yeah, I have heard it said that the dark as a scary thing is for children. it's a childish fear. It's the fear of the unknown. It's something that anyone and their grandmother can make a movie out of and tell a story with. And so, oh, the real skill is in making other things scary. But this makes its darkness not necessarily scary, but tragic.
Okay.
And also kind of scary. So we start with kind of a familiar rhetoric. So one of the most common questions these days, TM, is what were you doing that morning? It's classic anytime a big event happens. And in this case, our protagonist was in the back seat of her parents' car arguing with her little brother over a crayon when the sky went dark, because it took 23 minutes for it to go from weird shit to black. And in that time, she'd ended up with her parents who had come to pick her up from school. Now, for our protagonist, the world going dark was a little bit different than it was for everybody else, because she was born with cataracts. And she had lived several years, like, I think till the age of 12? Question mark?
8.
8. Thanks. I was trying to find the number. They do tell us the number in this book. Don't mind me. She lived till the age of 8 with giant dark spots in her vision, because that's what cataracts do. They block your eyes. They're not blindness themselves. They're just hiding things. And she describes this as feeling like there were these dark, dirty fingers trying to steal the world from her. And she feels like they came back and took the whole world this time. Now, the story takes place in what is referred to as 13 p.m. And you might go, oh, okay. So we're looking like 1 p.m. or possibly 1 a.m. if you've changed how clocks work. But no, because what the event, Jazz Hands, is referred to as the big PM, where everything went dark and now it's nighttime all the time. So 13 p.m. refers to it being 13 years post
Darkness.
Spooktown. Yeah.
Okay.
This particular page that's on screen currently, I have never, because the previous page, real quick, this is the new thing I'm doing, is like full of color and ready to go and in this very awesome art style, and then suddenly nothing.
Just goes black.
13 p.m. 13 years later.
So we cut to our protagonist doing her job, chattering away with someone on their CB radio, and she's got a cargo hold. I say cargo hold. It's just a truck. It's a big rig truck. They're in the back, full of people who are trying to get from one location to the other. There's a lot of lights, and there's a lot of lights both on the people and in the truck. And we get to look particularly at an old man and his young female companion. Remember these two. Our protagonist goes, hey, I think there's something giant circling. And the person on the CB radio is like, lol, no, you're fine. They're just like little bugs. And she's like, no, for real, I think there's something big coming. And lo and behold, there's something big coming. And she gives a good pilot warning. She's like, hey, people, we're running into some trouble. It's nothing to worry about. Just stay tight back there and don't be stupid. But alas, people are
forget
stupid.
That's the instructions. So the things that are encircling our big rig truck here are bug birds, is what they're referred to as. And they are mutated versions of anything that had been in the darkness for 10 hours or more. After 10 hours, it started... she goes on to explain that first it infects your gums, and if you catch it quickly enough, you might be able to heal yourself or do things to help yourself. But unfortunately, most times when creatures or plants don't have gums, so fuck them.
Yeah, fuck plants. But
They just
most
get
of the time, as soon as they're infected, they're done.
Correct.
Okay.
And because it has been so long, in the first couple days, in the first couple years even, it was easy to tell what it was that initially got mutated. Now these mutates have started crossbreeding and like combining together, and now they are just night amorphous scary monsters.
To be clear, these ones are bug bird things, but in general, this new species type thing is called a shade. Because
Okay.
dark.
Right.
So as our
So
truck
we
is
get-
being attacked by these shades, someone decides that I'm not having any of that and blasts the back door off just to get swooped and taken the fuck out.
Yep. Our protagonist, meanwhile, has climbed up on top of her truck after setting it on autopilot to try and get these things to fuck off.
Badass.
She is a badass. It's a pretty great series of fights with all these cool red cloud because she's fighting with flares and that kind of thing.
Badass.
We also find out that there are human shades, and they're kind of a big fucking deal. They don't breed with anything else, so they all stay quote unquote pure, and they can bring down an outpost in 2 minutes flat.
On screen right now is the reds and the clouds that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
Alright.
cool.
Yeah, it looks
Damn.
pretty rad, man. Looks really, really good.
So our protagonist Val, she manages to knock one of these giant bird things out of the trailer because she is, charged with these people's protection. And she ends up falling to the ground with this thing looking at her. And she's like, okay, this, not ideal. Not a great situation. Whatever. And she lights 2 massive flares because she's in range of the outpost's giant fucking lights. Like searchlights, floodlight type things. So they light her up, scare the shit out of all of the spooky monsters, and she is now able to return to the outpost, and they've lit her a path. The outpost is Outpost 41, and it's what remains of a town that used to make light bulbs. They were in the middle of a centennial festival. A bicentennial, I think. Let me zoom in. The text gets really small.
Ooh.
There it is.
Yeah, it was a centennial. There we go. They're in the middle of a centennial festival celebrating making light bulbs, which is why the entire place was lit up enough that nothing immediately got turned into a horrible fucking monster and tried to kill people.
Ah.
Wow.
Our protagonist talks to another driver or ferryman, as they're called, who tells her that her next job that she had lined up ain't gonna happen because unfortunately that whole outpost just went dark. It was apparently taken out by human shades. They don't fuck around. So she goes to the truck stop and goes, all right, I need a different job. I need something to do. And the woman running it, B, is just like, that is in fact not how this works, I'm afraid. She passes on payment, a battery, and explains that, like, while she'd love to help, she really can't based, like, without more information. Namely, people are starting to worry about our protagonist's brother. No one's seen him for a while, and they're starting to get concerned. So,
Anyway,
on her way back, Val gets accosted by the old man and the young girl, who say that they can't pay in advance, but if she can get them to their destination, they'll pay her in whatever she wants. And she says, no.
that's not how this works.
And-
You don't pay in advance.
You don't pay afterwards.
Yeah.
And this old man says it's important, says it's really important at a secret place, and they need a very skilled driver to get them there because he has a sunburn. Or so it seems.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which is odd, coming from the world that is now 13 years plunged in freaking darkness.
Mm-hmm.
No sun. So Val thinks this is bullshit because the only way anyone could get a sunburn anymore would be from like solar lamps or something, and almost all of those are gone. And the closest anyone has to somewhere that would have a bunch is there's like rumors that there are rich people bunkers full of solar lights and stuff, but you know,
We get
probably
assured that
bullshit.
A, those don't exist anymore, and B, they were fables in the first place.
Yes. So Val says to their job, hard pass, and heads home to see her brother, who is working on flash pops with chromium in them, which are very, very bright and explode with light.
So her weapons from earlier are made by her brother. He is a mechanic. He is your tech guy, sort of a role that gets fulfilled in this book.
Okay.
Yeah. They talk about sizzlers and flash pops and a couple other things. And, you know.
It is... They chat some more, and it is revealed that, unfortunately, sometime in these 13 years, probably rather recently, her brother has been slightly infected.
Oh,
He
shit.
snuck out of the outpost and someone saw too, so it's not even like it's a secret.
Damn.
So, now, we got told a little earlier, and I believe Table told us that if you catch it early enough, you can cure it with dialysis.
Okay.
And dialysis fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Allegedly. I have not taken part in such a procedure. But as Val comes home, her brother informs her that he just got done it and it doesn't seem to be going away.
She insists he give it another try. Because, yeah, it's at this point her brother is dying. And the only options for treatment is dialysis if you're early enough and solar lamps if you're not. It's why she had been riding on the job that failed because that place went dark, because she had heard there might be a lamp in that city. And she was going to take her brother with her.
So,
but alas.
now, out of a next job, our protagonist Val comes and finds the older man and his young companion and goes and knocks at their door. Because a job's a job at this point.
Right.
And even half a chance of saving her brother, she's got to take it. So she puts these two in the back of her truck, gets her brother on board with her, and starts to head out. She also says in the narration that if she had known how much trouble this was going to bring her, she probably would not have done this. But you know, hindsight and all that. We then cut back to the truck stop where a figure of flat black enters. When I say black, like flat black, I mean there is no detail. We have his outline and
On
everything else
screen
is
currently.
black. Everything but his mouth is black. And he says that even his speech bubbles are black. He says that he wants the tags for the driver who just left. And B says, no, we don't do that. And he says, look, it's important actually. And some guy's like, all right, who the fuck are you and what's with your fancy suit? And the guy's like, well, actually, this isn't a suit. It is carbon nanotubes that are bonded to me. And it burns like a motherfucker if you're not used to it. Wanna see? And then grabs the dude's face.
Oh.
It does, in fact, burn like a motherfucker.
So, our completely in darkness antagonist here goes on to tell us that the reason he needs these is he's going to find this man because this old man was the one who killed the son.
Okay.
And with that, the book
is
ends.
over.
Wow. Cliffhanger.
Dun, 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 dun.
There's some really weird costumes, by the way. There's a guy wearing what appears to be a squid.
Oh.
I mean, we watch JoJo's.
Your tolerance for weird costumes is through the fucking roof.
There you go.
So listen, I want to call attention to one character in particular, and then we'll,
Close it up.
Yeah. Hey, let me get her on screen here. blue-haired girl with the nose ring.
Oh my god.
Need I say more?
You're such a simp.
Oh my god.
Is that where we're gonna get us in trouble?
Nope,
shouldn't.
because she's talking to me and not chat. It's great.
Oh, sick.
I say this because I care about him.
So, this book was awesome. Last week's books was very feel good. It was, Huckling and Wiccan doing the Huckling and Wiccan things. This book, on edge, a little spooky, a little like, what the hell's going to
High-paced and
happen?
fun. Very mysterious.
And also a quick read,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
right? By the time
Like,
I
I
got
was
to the end,
done
I'm
this in,
like,
like, 20
wait, that's
minutes.
the end? Hello? What? Damn it, I fell for it.
They got you.
It sucked me
A
in.
fantastic issue 1.
Go pick up this book. This is the quickest and fastest way to show not only Image, but Scott Snyder, because this will not be his first series that he's doing independently, but this is like one of 5 that he just hasn't announced yet. Issue 2 comes out next month, sorry. And I'm super the fuck in for that.
Oh, agreed.
I believe it's 6 issues if memory serves me right, but whatever.
I'm done. Okay.
Point is that I am in for all of Nocterra and the next thing that Scott Snyder does. This book hit it out of the park. This was a great start. And also on screen right now is the Boss Logic cover that was exclusive to a very specific store in the States. And let me tell you, I will pay a pretty penny to get that cover.
Pretty.
Well, Sasha does some good stuff.
Facts. What did you boys think of it?
Sounds like a good romp. I like a good female protag. The more
Val is
badass,
great.
the better. Yeah, so this one is right up my alley, so I'm happy about that.
It's a very interesting concept, but yeah, I like it. It's very cool. Very dark. Very mysterious.
Ooh.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That brings us to the end of our show. If you liked our show, you can find our sister show, the Nerd Crusade podcast, by going to your podcast viewer of choice. Beastie, if you could do me a big favor as I'm sort of wrapping up.
Uh-huh.
I need you to go on to next time when we close out the show. We will read the reviews that people have been leaving because we've started to ask them to rate 5 stars. If you rate us 5 stars on Apple iTunes or whatever the hell they're calling it now, we will read your review right here on the show.
Okay.
If you would like to interact with us more on the social networks, you can find us on Twitter at Crusade Nerd. You can find us on Instagram at Nerd Crusade. You can find clips of our show on TikTok by searching Nerd Crusade. And with that, we'll chat with you guys sometime next week.
Have a good night.
Peace.
Peace out.